and good day. I am Ma'am Dian and I'm going to be your English teacher for today. For today's lesson, we're going to talk about a story written by Matsuo Basho. Have you heard his name before? Matsuo Basho was born Matsuo Kinsaku in the year 1644. He was the most famous poet in the Edo period in Japan. During his lifetime, Basho was recognized of his works and was considered as the greatest master of haiku. Before we proceed to the story, I would like you to watch this short video.
ไม่ไปโรงเรียนหรอ
112แล้วก็จำนวนถัดไปคืออะไรสุธีจำนวนต่อไปเป็นอะไรครับ
ก็เห็นใจของแกนะแต่ที่นี่โรงเรียนมันไม่ใช่บ้านนั่นดีเด็กจะเอาสมาธิที่ไหนไปเรียนนะเห็นลูกบอกว่าบางทีก็ให้เด็กคอยนั่งเฝ้าด้วยนะ
ดูแลแม่ครูให้ครับ
เอาแม่มาทุกวันแบบนี้สงสารเด็ก
จริงๆหาคนดูแลเป็นเรื่องเป็นราวน่าจะดีกว่า
เนี่ยผมกำลังคิดอยู่ว่าผมจะลูกไปเรียนที่อื่น
สวัสดีลูกสวัสดีครูประจักษ์ผมขอคุยด้วยหน่อยครับแม่
ครูครับผมกลับก่อนนะครับ
ครับสวัสดีครับ
ผู้ปกครองพูดกันมาเยอะผมว่าครูประจักษ์ต้องคิดเรื่องนี้อย่างจริงจังแล้วล่ะ
ครับ
ผมพอจะหาคนดูแลแม่ครูได้นะ
ขอบคุณนะครับผอ.แต่แม่ของผมให้คนอื่นดูแลแทนไม่ได้เอาเป็นว่าแม่สักครู่นะครับแม่แม่แม่แม่แม่
จะไปไหนเนี่ย
แม่
ถ้าผมโตผมจะขับรถให้แม่นั่ง
เป็นอะไร
แม่จอด
อะไรลูก
ยายจะไปไหนครับ
ที่ผมนัดผู้ปกครองมาวันนี้ก็ได้เรื่องที่หลายท่านร้องเรียนกันมานั่นคือเรื่องครูประจักษ์
แม่แม่
แม่ของครูประจักษ์เป็นโรคสมองเสื่อมและการที่แกพาแม่มาโรงเรียนด้วยก็อาจจะสร้างความลำบากใจให้กับหลายๆท่านครูประจักษ์บอกผมว่าแกมีแม่อยู่คนเดียวและแม่แกก็มีแกคนเดียว ที่ผ่านมามีหลายโรงเรียนต้องการครูประจักษ์ไปสอน แต่แกก็ปฏิเสธเพราะอยากอยู่ใกล้แม่ครูประจักษ์มักพูดเสมอว่า แม่คือผู้ให้ชีวิตเอาละครับ เราทุกคนมีสิทธิ์ที่จะปกป้องคนที่เรารัก ถ้าท่านใดในห้องนี้ เห็นว่าครูประจักษ์ไม่มีความเหมาะสมกับการเป็นครูที่นี่ ขอให้ไปลงรายชื่อกันนะครับ
แม่ แม่ แม่
ไม่ไปโรงเรียนเหรอ
Now at this point, join me as I read the story of the aged mother. Long, long ago, there lived at the foot of the mountain a poor farmer and his aged, widowed mother. They owned a bit of land which supplied them with food, and they were humble, peaceful, and happy. Shinano was governed by a despotic leader who, though a warrior, had a great and cowardly shrinking from anything suggestive of failing health and strength. This caused him to send out a cruel proclamation. The entire province was given strict orders to immediately put to death all aged people. Those were barbarous days, and the custom of abandoning old people to die was not uncommon. The poor farmer loved his aged mother with tender reverence, and the order filled his heart with sorrow. But no one ever thought twice about obeying the mandate of the governor. So with many deep, hopeless sighs, the youth prepared for what at that time was considered the kindest mode of death. Just at sundown, when his day's work was ended, he took a quantity of unwhitened rice, which was the principal food for the poor, and he cooked and dried it and tied it in a square cloth, which he swung in a bundle around his neck, along with a gourd filled with cool, sweet water. Then he lifted his helpless old mother to his back and started on his painful journey up the mountain. The road was long and steep. The narrow road was crossed and recrossed by many paths made by the hunters and woodcutters. In some place, they lost and confused. But he gave no heed. One path or another, it mattered not. On he went, climbing blindly upward, ever upward towards the high bare summit of what is known as Obatsuyama, the mountain of the abandoning of the aged. The eyes of the old mother were not so dim, but that they noted her reckless hastening from one path to another, and her loving heart grew anxious. Her son did not know the mountain's many paths, and his return might be one of danger. So she stretched forth her hand and snapping at twigs from bushes as they passed. She quietly dropped a handful every few steps of the way, so that as they climbed, the narrow path behind them was dotted at frequent intervals with tiny piles of twigs. At last, the summit was reached. Weary and heartsick, the youth gently released his burden and silently prepared a place of comfort as his last duty to the loved one. Gathering fallen pine needles, he made a soft cushion and tenderly lifted his old mother onto it. He wrapped her padded coat more closely about the stooping shoulders, and with tearful eyes and an aching heart, he said farewell. The trembling mother's voice was full of unselfish love as she gave her last injunction. "Let not thine eyes be blinded, my son," she said. "The mountain road is full of dangers. Look carefully and follow the path which holds the piles of twigs. They will guide you to the familiar path farther down." The son's surprised eyes looked back over the path, then at the poor old shriveled hands, all scratched and soiled by their work of love. His heart broke within and bowing to the ground, cried aloud, "O honorable mother, your kindness breaks my heart. I will not leave you. Together we will follow the path of twigs, and together we will die." Once more he shouldered his burden. How light it seemed now, and hastened down the path, through the shadows, in the moonlight, to the little hut in the valley. Beneath the kitchen floor was a walled closet for food, which was covered and hidden from view. There the son hid his mother, supplying her with everything she needed, continually watching and fearing she would be discovered. Time passed, and he was beginning to feel safe when again the governor sent forth heralds bearing an unreasonable order. Seemingly, as a boast of his power, his demand was that his subjects should present him with a rope of ashes. The entire province trembled with dread. The order must be obeyed, yet who in all Shinano could make a rope of ashes? One night, in great distress, the son whispered the news to his hidden mother. "Wait," she said. I will think. On the second day, she told him what to do. "Make rope of twisted straw," she said. "Then stretch it upon a row of flat stones and burn it on a windless night." He called the people together and did as she said. And when the blaze died down, there upon the stones, with every twist and fiber showing perfectly, lay a rope of ashes. The governor was pleased at the wit of the youth and praised greatly, but he demanded to know where he had obtained his wisdom. "Alas, alas," cried the farmer, "the truth must be told." And with deep bows he related his story. The governor listened and then meditated in silence. He finally lifted his head. "Shinano needs more than the strength of youth," he said gravely. "That I should have forgotten the well-known saying, 'With the crown of snow there cometh wisdom.'" That very hour the cruel law was abolished, and custom drifted into as far as a past that only legends remain. Now, let's try to answer some questions about the story that we have tackled. What did the despotic leader order the people to do?
The despotic leader ordered a strict policy to his nation that all the aged people who are weak and then do nothing should be killed or abandoned to die.
How did the farmer react?
The poor farmer loved his aged mother with tender reverence, and the order of governor filled his heart with sorrow.
Where did the son bring his mother?
Her son bring her mother to the mountain called Obatsuyama, the mountain of the abandoning of the aged.
What proclamation made the people tremble?
The governor sent for heralds, being an unreasonable order, seemingly as abuse of his power. He demanded the subject should present him with the roof of ashes.
What moral did the leader realize?
The despotic leader learned that their community needs more than just strength of youth, but the wisdom of elderly ones.
In the Philippines, how do we show that we value our parents?
Here in the Philippines, we value our parents by showing them our respect. We take care of them as they care for us. We make them feel love as we felt their unconditional love, and also by fulfilling their dreams for us.
What moral have you learned from the story?
Older generations have much more experiences and knowledge than us younger generation. So, it's much more important to listen to their advices because their suggestions are based on their experience in their own lives.
That's it for today. I hope you learned a lot. See you next time.